You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to part 6 of my rare DVD collection. Been a while since I've done a rare DVD collection video, so here's another one. We're starting off with the Devilman Lady original DVD release. Now, there is a newer release by Discotek, so you can get this show cheaper now, and not by buying these old rare sets. But nevertheless, these old sets are out of print and call it Devil Lady instead of Devilman Lady, although the term Devilman Lady is still used within the anime, obviously. And a lot of these came with cards. In fact, they all came with cards, and I think I have the cards in all but one of them. I've also got another copy of Episode 4, or sorry, not Episode 4, of DVD 1, because there was an issue with Episode 4 on the original, and then I put the cards in with the working one. Other than Episode 4, this disc works perfectly, but Episode 4 has some issues, where it freezes and stops. But yeah, it's the same set, just this one's in worse condition. There's the second DVD set, there's the back of that, and there's the cards and disc. Here's the third DVD set, there's the back of it, and this is the only one I don't have the cards for. Here's the fourth DVD set, there's the back, and there's the disc and cards. Fifth DVD set, the back of it, and the disc and cards. The sixth and final DVD set, the back of it, and the disc and cards. Now, I'm not exactly sure how rare these are. I'm pretty sure they're at least decently rare because it took me a while to find them, but these are the Nagai Super Robot Collection DVDs. These are exclusive to Italy, and it's got like a lot of crossover stuff, you know, like Mazinger Z versus Devilman, Mazinger Z versus General Nero, Great Mazinger versus Getter Robo. There's the disc. Like I said, this is an Italian import because these are Italian exclusive. There's the second disc. As you can see, this one has more crossovers. Great Mazinger versus Getter Robo G. UFO Robot Tiger versus Volanti. I'm not sure who that one is. And then Grendizer versus Great Mazinger. Grendizer versus Great Mazinger, Getter Robo, and that last one, Dragosauro? I assume like Dragosaur? I don't know. There's the disc on that one. Here's the Iron Virgin June OVA. Again, I'm not 100% sure how rare this one is, but I'm pretty sure it's still out of print and has not had a re-release. And I bought it a long time ago, but I remember it being a decent amount of money. Certainly not as expensive as some of the old OVAs I bought, but I'm pretty sure this one cost at least $30, maybe $40. It might be more. It's been a while, like I said. But at the very least, it is definitely out of print, so it definitely is rarer than some of the stuff. So I don't think it's the rarest thing I own, but it's probably up there. It's probably at least somewhat rare, anyway. Because, again, these old Nagai OVAs tend to go out of print, and until Discotek reprints them, they're usually kind of hard to get a hold of. Next up, we have the Jojo OVAs. This is Volume 3. I have Volumes 1, 2, and 3. These are all really rare, and they're all super expensive, so I've been buying them one at a time. I think Volume 1 is like the most affordable, but the later it gets into the series, the more expensive it gets. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not 100% sure where the other volumes are. I think Kyler packed those ones up, so they're still in a box somewhere. But as you can see, this came with cards as well. Alright, another one that I'm not exactly sure how rare it is, Rocko's Modern Life, the German release. This is the uncut version of the series. It has every scene intact, albeit in the scenes that were cut out of the American release. Even if you're watching it in English, it will switch over to the German. I did a whole discs in depth on this set, so I'm not going to go too detailed on it today. But there's the discs, there's some more discs, and there's the booklet. Alright, next up we have the limited edition version of Star Wars A New Hope. You can get plenty of copies of Star Wars A New Hope, but this is the one that has the theatrical release. And this is the only time the theatrical release has had an official home license, like an official home release, rather. There are bootlegs out there, like the Star Wars Grindhouse Collection and a few others, but obviously this is the only time that it was official, was the limited edition, came with a second disc that has the original version of the movie. They did this for all of the original trilogy, although I think even though it is stated to be the original version, there are still some differences from the actual theatrical version. But nevertheless, this was the closest you got, and it only got released in this one limited edition, and then they never did it again. Alright, next up we have Genocyber. Now this thing goes for quite a bit online as well with the original print, or at least it did last time I checked. However, if I remember correctly, Discotek actually recently did a re-release of this, both as a Blu-ray and a DVD, so this is probably shot down in value once more. But this is the original Central Park Media release, which obviously has been out of print for quite some time, and it shot up in value after I bought it. It wasn't rare when I bought it, or at least not that rare. Then it spiked in value. I have no doubt that it's probably plummeted down ever since it got re-released, which is good because you can get your hands on it much more easily. All right, now here we have Mad Bull 34. This one has fucking spiked in value. This thing is super rare nowadays. I can't remember how much it is exactly. I've seen it for over $100. I've seen it for around $50 to $60 and $70. I've seen it go all over the place, but it is rare, out of print, and goes for quite a bit regardless. I did a review of Mad Bull 34 on my channel quite some time ago. It's a very fun OVA series, and it is out of print currently. And even it is a discotheque release, yet it is still out of print. All right, here we have Silver Fang. Again, I'm not 100% how rare this one is, at least this particular set, but it took me forever to find a set that was even somewhat affordable. This set actually didn't cost me too much. I think it was like $40. Any DVD of this series can go for like well over $400. So this one, I think, like I said, was like $40, maybe slightly cheaper, maybe slightly more. It's been a while. And I thought this was a Finnish release, but when I look at the back, it said that it had subtitles in Swedish, I think, so maybe it's a Swedish release. I'm pretty sure I imported it from Finland. Obviously, there's no English subtitles, so I'm pretty much stuck watching it in Japanese and trying to figure it out through context. I've watched the first 4 episodes so far, and I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's a good one. I found out about it when Kenny Lauderdale did a video on it a little while back. I think it was a couple years ago at this point. Okay, I keep thinking that I showed this one, and maybe I have. But I swear to God, I keep checking through my old Rare DVDs video and it doesn't show up, even though I swear to God I've filmed it every single time. But here it is, Invader Zim Special Features Disc. Now this originally came with the Zim House Box, which I could not afford to get, because that thing is so out of print. But this disc on its own was still quite expensive. I remember it being over $40 or so when I bought it. But yeah, this just contains bonus features, as well as the original unaired version of The Most Horrible Christmas Ever. It's literally just got a few different music cues, and that's it. And look at that, it comes with a booklet for rareflix.com. This also has the audio for the unaired episodes that were never finished, so that's pretty cool. Next up we have Kinnikuman, the OVA series. I just reviewed this on the channel, so no surprise there. It's been a while since I bought this, but if I remember it was like $40 or $50 when I bought it, so again, still pretty out of print and rare. A lot of these older OVAs will never go mainstream, which is part of their charm, because normies won't ruin them, but also they're much more of a pain in the ass to get a hold of. I know, next up we have a bootleg. I know, shocking to have a bootleg in a Rare collection video, but some of these bootlegs become collector's items. So this is the Fusion Reborn Anime Labs release. If you don't know about Anime Labs, they used to do dubs of Dragon Ball Z, GT, and a few other things back in the day. They also went by the name Hot Ramen Studios. I'm pretty sure they're the same company. But they were a bootlegging group, and in that group they would make subtitles for Dragon Ball Z movies. But the subtitles would be really inaccurate and have a bunch of unnecessary swear words that weren't in the original, so that's what makes them fun to own as collector's items, because they're much more filthy in the language when you're reading the subtitles, so that's pretty fun. At one point, Vegeta calls someone a candy-ass faggot at one point, so there's a lot of weird stuff in that, and that's part of why I love these, because you never know what you're going to get. They also have this feud with this guy named Hank that they're constantly insulting in their subtitles on their tapes. I actually have a few more of these tapes on the way, so I'll probably show them in Volume 7 as well as my new DVD collection update, which is coming, by the way, don't worry. Alright, next up we have Monster. Now this is box set 1, which is the only one that got released in the US. I do also have the Australian one, but we'll get to that in a minute. Monster is an anime I started watching a long time ago. I need to finish. It's a really good series about this doctor who saves the life of a little boy who grows up to be a serial killer. And the doctor gets blamed for it, and the serial killer boy's twin sister is a major character too. The doctor's also on the run from the authorities while trying to hunt down Johan, the boy that he saved. Alright, now this is the Australian release of Monster, which is the entire series. Now with this one, I'm pretty sure I spent over $100 on it. If not, it was close to it. It might have even been like close to $200. It's been a while. I kind of remember waiting until I got my tax refund to buy this one, so... But it's a really good show. I need to finish watching it, like I said. But there's the cases... There's the backs of the cases. And the discs don't really have art, so I'll just show these ones. Next up we have Audition. I don't actually know how rare this is per se. Like, this movie's probably not all that rare, but this is the Arrow video release, which are always limited edition and always overpriced as fuck. But I do like their sets. They're pretty cool, so here's Audition. It's a really good movie, by the way. Alright, next up we have a For Your Consideration Emmy pack of Breaking Bad Season 4. Now, what these were, as the name would imply, is they send this to the Emmys, so this is not given out to the public, but this is sent to the Emmys to try and get people to watch, to try and get people to actually give something an Emmy. It comes with a booklet that has it. It's not just Breaking Bad. It's actually a bunch of stuff from AMC, but it's got the entire 4th season of Breaking Bad. So yeah, this is like a screening copy, but I would say it's even more rare just because screening copies were given out to retailers. These were just given out to the Emmys. It's got some of Mad Men in it. As you can see, it's got quite a few episodes of Mad Men. But Breaking Bad, it has the entire 4th season. So that's pretty fucking cool. So yeah, there's that. It's also got some of The Walking Dead. This is the only Walking Dead I own, by the way, because I got sick of this show. It's got The Killing, which I've never watched. I've also never watched Mad Men, by the way. But it's a really cool set because, again, wasn't given out to the public. It was like a screener given out to the Emmy committee, whatever it's called, to get them to consider nominating it for Emmys. All right, now this is a big one. This is the most expensive DVD I have ever bought. This is the entirety of Kinnikuman, the original series and the sequel series. I think it's also got some remakes, specials, OVAs. It's got literally everything Kinnikuman in it. This DVD set cost me over $400. This one I absolutely waited until tax season to buy, because once I got my refund back, you know, that's when I bought it. So I don't know if it was expensive because it's rare or just because it's fucking huge and has a ton in it. I think it's a little bit of both, which is why it's in this video. It's obviously only in Japanese, so there are no subtitles, but I have watched the first couple episodes, and again, I've also enjoyed them quite a bit. I plan to finish the whole series and review it at some point. Kinnikuman has never had a US release. Ultimate Muscle, its sequel, did air on Foxbox and got a couple of DVD volumes, but I think I have both volumes. I only showed the first one last time, but I don't know if I actually have Volume 2 for sure, because I haven't seen it kicking around, so maybe I don't. But I do have the entirety of Kinnikuman in this big-ass set that I spent way too much fucking money on. As I've said, Kinnikuman is a series that I've always wanted Discotek to license and bring over here. Of course, if they do that, I will look quite the fool, since I spent so much fucking money on this set. Like I said, it was expensive. But, you know what? It's a cool set to have, so I get bragging rights, I guess, right? It is an absolutely massive set, too, so, you know, there is a lot going for it. As you can see, I'm still going through. We're almost done. This is the second to last little sub-box within the big box. Alright, here's the final one. As you can see, like I said, so much stuff in here. I mean, it better fucking be, right, for over $400. And normally I wouldn't spend that much on a DVD set, but I was fucking stubborn and really wanted this, so I bought it. But yeah, like I said, easily the most expensive DVD I own. Alright, after that massive one, here's something a lot less rare and expensive, but it's still pretty rare because you never see it kicking around anymore, and that's Season 1 of 1,000 Ways to Die. Now, this entire series, is for sale on Xbox Video, but the DVD is super rare. And I'm pretty sure I haven't showed this in one of the other collection rare videos, so there you go. I've showed it in collection updates, just not the rare videos. Okay, that does it for this rare DVD collection video. I actually have more to show, obviously, but I'm tired of looking around for stuff, and it's getting late, and this video's gone on for a decent length, so you know what? We will save some more for Part 7. Anyway, it's been Fugitive Red Eye. Have a good one. Toodles.